Hi, my name is Gloria Flores, and I believe coming out matters. Although gay marriage was legalized by the U.S. Supreme Court in 2015, and we recently had two transgender individuals run for public office named Andrea Jenkins and Jessica Rome, gay LGBTQ people are still stigmatized in our society. This is precisely why I believe it's so important for those of us who can be out to be out. By being out, we're visible. Being out communicates to those people who cannot be out that they are not alone. Being out lets the world see that LGBTQ people come in all sizes, shapes, and colors. We are daughters, mothers, sisters, artists, chefs. We are everywhere. Being out helps normalize what LGBT and Q people represent. That we're not, you can't fit us in one mold. When we don't see ourselves represented in the world, we begin to think that we're alone, and sometimes we might even question our self-worth. Coming out allows you to be yourself and can diminish societal stigmas about being gay. Now, coming out isn't necessarily the safest thing to do. It can be risky for some people. And while I don't presume to speak for all LGBT and Q individuals, I can speak about my experiences and why I believe it's so important to come out. If you do choose to come out, you can sometimes run the risk of being shunned by friends, family, and even coworkers. In some cases, your family might recommend that you go to get therapy and get fixed. There is such a thing called conversion therapy, where there's a belief that you could be cured from your from being gay, and that it's something that can be cured. And so that's a risk that you run. And so that's something that you need to be prepared for. There are also 76 countries in the world where being gay or lesbian or part of the LGBTQ community can cause you to be fined or imprisoned. Two countries in particular that I recently learned about are in Africa. They are Algeria and Burundi. And in these countries, you can go to jail anywhere between 2 months and 2 years. And you can be fined between $500 to $100,000 simply for committing an act of homosexuality, even if it's consensual. Due to stigmas associated with being gay, you and your family might face societal shame if people in your community find out that you are gay. Unfortunately, this continues to be true in some parts of the world. Loving and respecting yourself is very important. And so in the coming out process, the first person that you come out to is yourself. And that's key in your being able to feel positive about who you are. Coming out doesn't happen one day and you're done. Coming out is a process. And coming out is something that you will do over and over again, at a doctor's office, at a new job, perhaps in school, sitting next to a stranger on a plane when you have a simple, casual conversation. I was 31 years old when I came out. I was a mom, a college student, and a wife. And those different parts of my identity all played a role in how I chose to come out and the way in which I chose to do it. And so it's a very personal process. For me, once I came out, it was very freeing. I felt a huge burden lifted off my shoulder. I wasn't done coming out because there were many individuals that I had not come out to. I started with my sister and my cousin, but it was a start. and I felt relieved. I felt that I was free to be more of myself and that I could share bits and pieces of this journey that I was on in discovering this part of my identity that I wasn't aware of or was just emerging. Also, getting to know people in the LGBT community was really big. Getting their support and getting to hear stories about them and their lives and what their journeys were like was very affirming, very empowering, and very helpful in helping me feel that I wasn't alone, that many of the things that I felt were a common and shared experience. I also felt free to participate in gay and lesbian events such as pride marches, support meetings, dances, and that was also, again, affirming, and it echoed that feeling that I wasn't alone. I remember attending my first New York City Pride March in New York City in the 1990s, and it was an incredibly empowering experience. I felt validated and joyful, and I felt, again, that I was not alone. I saw people of every color, race, age, just across the spectrum, all walks of life, dressed in all kinds of ways. And it was an incredibly exhilarating, life affirming experience that filled me with courage and bravery. And it just made me feel great. Like it was more than okay for me to be who I was at the moment. To this day, when I walk down the street with my girlfriend, we sometimes get stared at. Generally when we're walking down the street holding hands, that is. And while I do feel safe, we do feel safe. We don't feel like we're going to be attacked or hurt in any way, not physically. It's quite uncomfortable to be stared at. Not being out can prevent you from connecting with other people who have gone through similar experiences. And talking with someone who's already come out can, again, be uplifting, affirming, and validates your experience. And even if you're not ready to come out, it's something good to consider to talk to someone who's already been there because it's helpful. And being out, I think, helps remind our legislators, our lawmakers, that we're here, that we vote, and that we're not going anywhere. And again, there's no right or wrong time to come out. The only right time and way to come out is the time when you're ready, if you're ready, and the way to do it is however feels good to you. In an ideal world, we wouldn't even need to come out because heterosexuality would not be presumed. But until we get to that date, I encourage you all that can safely do so to be out and be there for those people that are coming out, to be provide support, to guide, and to listen. And so, simply stated, coming out and being out matters. And I'd like to end this talk with a quote by Harvey Milk, who was one of the first American politicians who was out in California in the 1970s. And he said, "Every gay person must come out. Once they realize we are indeed their children, we are indeed everywhere, every myth, every lie, every innuendo will be destroyed once and for all." Thank you.